Hello, everyone. I'm sick today, but I just heard another story by a close friend, a child who grew up. I've known all their life. I suspected it. I had rescued already 3 children when they were young who I had known were abused by Christian leader father who went around pretending to be this big deal missionary and pastor and deacon and was horribly abusing their kids. I went to court for them and all that, and thankfully they were adopted by a wonderful friend of the family who's Christian and have good lives now. And this other person I had suspected and did all I could to help them, and then they moved out of state and lost touch. Well, now that person has grown up and told me what I suspected, but it was even worse. And the abuse is still happening because finally a stepchild testified about it, and the abuser was put in prison, though he had been regularly attending church the entire time to presently. And so I made a Facebook page called Survivors of Christian Abuse with Family and Friends and Church Leadership, or something to that effect. But the point is, there is now a page on Facebook. I'll try to post it below, the link below. And then also, we have got to start demanding reform and accountability for Christians, especially who go to church, quote the Bible, and are abusing their children and other people, and spousal abuse. We've got to start demanding reform. And then Mike Winger, I don't know if you know him, you can look him up on YouTube. He has done several journalistic YouTube articles about Christian church abuse, and he just put out the latest that he used all these emails and videos and letters and first-hand testimonies of some of the main charismatic leaders in America, and how they are still, even after being exposed, covering up for each other. So this has got to stop. It's still going. These are the top churches in America, and they're still doing it. And people have got to quit supporting them. And the best way to go is probably to return what the biblical example is and have house churches and coffee churches and little groups under a tree and little groups on the mountain and little groups on the beach. That's just about the best way to go. But the main thing is, survivors and victims have got to start demanding it. And all these cover-up leaders that Mike Winger talks about, if you're looking, it's Winger. People just need to leave their churches and start little churches, like I said, in their homes, at the bowling alley, the movie theater. I'm not talking about big churches where they can start earning money again and get too rich, and then the greed gets a hold of them. I'm talking about churches with 20 people or less all over America and all over the world. We've got to get out of these big churches. This is just super ridiculous. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about this and invite you to look up my Facebook page, which I'm going to have to do it after I load this, and I'll add it, and also see this on YouTube, because it's just got to be done. I feel terrible today. I just have this really bad cold. I don't have no makeup on, anything, but now is too late. It should have been done for the last 2,000 years instead of hidden and cover up. But and it kind of has in little spots and all, but millions and millions and billions of us who follow Christ need to say enough. I am not going to allow my young people to quit going to churches or doing anything to do with Jesus Christ the Messiah because of all this crap. And that's what it is. Crap, abuse, torture, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse that goes on. Why would the young people want to become a Christian when all this is constantly happening and they see it not only in their own families, if nothing else, the verbal abuse, and then they see it in other families, other people who have been abused by Christians and churches? Why would they want to follow Christ? So I personally, even though it's this Christian term and all that, because that's what the term is, I personally call myself a biblical believer. I don't call myself a Christian. So anyway, I'm going to put this link, and then I ask you to share this to every survivor, and for this YouTube and for the Facebook page, because we've got to stop this now. There's got to be an uproar like the world has never seen. If you're afraid to share a story or embarrassed to come out, the big thing is pray. Pray, pray, pray. We have so many millions and so many billions of people on planet Earth who are traumatized by the Christian religion because of the Christian abuse that's gone on. And it's time to no longer have a Christian religion and somehow just have, followers of Christ, which a lot of people go by that anyway now. But it's got to stop. It just absolutely has to stop. All this abuse by Christian leaders, Christian fathers, Christian mothers, Christian grandmas and grandpas. All kinds of abuse. From money abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, physical, verbal, emotional, manipulation. All that has got to stop. At least we've got to quit calling it them being a good Christian when they're nice in public and horrible behind the scenes. Okay, I could keep going, but like this video and share it, please. Okay. You have a good rest of your week. This is a new time of reformation in all kind of different areas, and you can be a part of that. Okay, have a wonderful week.